Hello, and welcome to Generation Red Flag, where I went from a super unhealthy dating and relationship scene to finding the love of my life and being together for 15 years, married for 10. And I want to show you how I did it. If modern dating seems super confusing, exhausting, and emotionally abusive, you're not the only one. The rules have changed. Nobody's really addressed them or pointed them out. That's what I'm here to do today. Let's decode the modern rules of dating and figure out how to get you in a healthier place. The core truth: everybody has issues, everyone has problems, whether it's anxiety, kids, family baggage. No one's coming into relationships these days super healthy. And if they are, you're usually not meeting those people on online dating. These are the type of people that you've in high school that since they were 14 years old are the perfect couple, and it's kind of annoying. Those are the type of people that I'm talking about. If you're one of us regular people and don't know what the F is going on out there, let me decode and try to tell you. If you're in the dating scene, most people are struggling in that scene. It's not a smooth ride that everyone's just enjoying and going through unscathed. There's some trauma, it seems like everyone I know that is going through that's been dating recently. Some of the trends right now are that although we're struggling with dating, it is a lot easier to see the flaws in other people versus ourselves. It's much easier to blame the person for ghosting you or being an asshole or whatever than it is to analyze yourself and analyze, why do I keep getting in the same relationship situations? Why does this keep happening to me? Everyone thinks that they're the exception. Self-awareness is not encouraged these days. And when you do have self-awareness, there's usually an excuse. If you do have like awareness that you have anxiety or something, then the answer seems to be like give up or blame other people. I'm not saying that you don't have a valid problem, whether it's anxiety or that you're having problem finding a good person to date. But where I'm saying the issue does lie is that we tend to make excuses of why we are not in control, or the little control that we do have over the situation, we aren't accountable for in general in society. Have you ever watched that Caleb Hammer show about finances? Nobody has accountability these days. So we're not broken. We are human beings. We have damage. We have baggage. We are reactive. We are defensive. And especially if we go unexamined, we are going to repeat these patterns. Number one biggest thing that has changed in our society is online dating. From someone that dated before online dating existed, yes, I am that old. From someone that experienced not online dating or just meeting people in a bar to going to online dating, there has been a huge shift. And the more aware, in my opinion, you are about anything, the more control you have over the situation, or the more you can control yourself and your own behavior in the situation, so you're able to make the best choices possible, which is literally the point of what I'm doing here. So back in the day, when you would meet someone at a bar or whatever, not only would you be attracted to their face or their profile or whatever it is you want to say, there is an energy exchange. And I don't know if there's a term for it. I don't know if there's a technical term for it, but there is a feeling of energy that exchanges between two people in the first instances of meeting each other that says so much more than you could find out in 6 months talking online to someone. Instincts, your intuition, your attractive levels, the way that the person looks, moves, just everything about every interaction that you do will subconsciously tell you whether or not only are you attracted to them, but are they attracted to you. Something that has happened from online dating that is that there is a hierarchy of attractiveness in the world. And there are more attractive people, there are less attractive people. There are people that are maybe not physically a 10, but their personality is a 10 mixed with a 7 or 8. We've all met people that are just, everyone in high school was attracted to them, or whatever the case may be. You just know that not only are they good looking, but there's just a quality about them that is people are drawn to this person. So on the other hand, you know, people that have the opposite. Not only are they maybe not the most attractive people, but their personality is, you know, nothing to write home to your mother about. And not only top of that, but they really don't take care of themselves. I'm not just saying you are born into this one category of hotness and you can never fluctuate. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, and especially I know a lot of divorced women and stuff like that. And it's like, you're 42 years old, you're divorced, you've got 2 kids, And yet you think that you're going to get someone hotter than you could snag when you were 18 at your physical peak, no baggage, no alimony or whatever the fuck happens when you have a divorce. Anyways, so we go into this with this weird expectation that we're going to snag a really rich, attractive guy, even though we actually haven't been able to do that in reality. But because when we're online, we're seeing really attractive guys that are in our internet circle, if you will, that are maybe swiping. I don't know. I have never had Tinder, but basically there are hot guys that are replying to you on Tinder apps or whatever. And you're like, holy shit, I really want to hang out with such and such a guy. And then you hang out with them and you're like, oh, I can't believe this guy's hanging out with me. So with that said, a lot of times, basically, let me tell you a story. I know two girls that live 2.5 hours away from each other. And they both met this super hot guy online. And they both were like, whoa, this guy's a model. Or I forget what the deal was with him, but he was really hot. He did have a 6-pack and he did have a big wiener or whatever. And he did have, I don't know, money and a nice car. I forget what the deal was. But basically, both of these girls met this guy. He hung out with them once and then they both never heard from him again. You may have cracked the code. This is the same guy. There are creepy guys and there are creepy girls out there. Basically, you don't know the intention of the people that you're meeting online. And if you will let guys from the internet stick it in, they're going to, even though maybe they wouldn't be the type that they're going to marry you or take you home to your mother. And then they ghost you. And then they're the asshole for ghosting you, even though it's like, let's all be aware of the risks of, even if you meet someone online and you're going to end up marrying them, I would say maybe don't have sex with them on the first night. Get to know them better, see them if they're going to call you, if that's what you want. If you're down with a one night stand, that's totally different discussion. We're talking about people that are looking for a relationship right now. So online dating creates fantasy gaps, which basically we subconsciously fill with what we know about the person. So like whatever it is, if they're in between jobs, but they say, I just got laid off, but I'm about to get a new job, we tend to want to believe that. So then we fill in the fantasy that they're going to get a really good job and blah, 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 blah. So basically it's like, if they don't tell you anything about family or their exes or whatever, you might assume that that they're not divorced or whatever, but yet they have 5 kids and 2. I think everyone's been on both sides of a lot of these things, but as boundaries, as I'm not going to put the energy into that. That's going to drain me, blah, blah, blah. But when people do it to us, they're the devil and absolute assholes. So when you ghost someone, it's self-care. But when they ghost you, they just use you and dropped you. When someone breadcrumbs you, they have led you on. But when you breadcrumb someone else, you've just changed your mind. Emotional withdrawal is boundaries, and directity is avoided at all costs. I remember when I would date that literally a guy would say to me, what are you looking for? And I remember thinking it's not cool to tell a guy that you're looking for a relationship. So I would be like, whatever, just hanging out, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, that's when I was hanging out with him. I didn't just want to fuck. I wanted to see, do I like you? Do I want to hang out with you? Do I want to go further in this relationship? And I would say a lot of things that weren't true because I was trying to like be cool or whatever. And then sometime right around the time I met my husband, after I broke up with the boyfriend before him, I just decided I would rather be happy than married and unhappy, which was all around me. So I basically decided I will be so fucking honest that if somebody says, what do you want? I'm going to pause for a second and think, what do I fucking want? And then say that to the person. And if that totally turns them off and repulses them and makes them not want to talk to me, if it was my truthful, authentic answer, then that is good. Because I'd rather figure out right off the bat that they are not out for what I am authentically out for than to lie to us both and waste more time. Something else that I really want to underline is that just because the person gives you butterflies or makes you really excited or you're really attracted to them doesn't mean that you're a good match. Butterflies is actually you not knowing what's going to happen, but being excited that something could happen. To me, you don't get butterflies as much once you're in a settled, committed relationship, which you may say is good or bad. But basically, the point is just because someone gives you fucking butterflies doesn't mean that they're good. Some of the worst people I've ever hung out with have given me the biggest butterflies because they're bad. They're naughty. You know what I mean? I found it thrilling, even though I know this person is more fucked than I am, which I didn't want to have to deal with. Not that I was super, super fucked, but I was not fucked. We're really chasing a fantasy and an illusion rather than an authentic partnership. And I think that's part of why marriage is a joke these days. Not my marriage, but a lot of other people's marriages. Now we're going into relationships with suspicions, looking for red flags, and we really can't risk. This video is kind of proving what I don't like about dating, which is you can't go into it completely trusting the person. Not that you should completely trust anyone that you want to first date with, but there is a trust between a person more when you have a friend in common. I'm just going to say it. That is the truth. Behavior changes when there's no accountability. If you don't have any friends in common or know anyone, and it's never going to come back to the person, they're really able to create or do anything they want in the relationship without consequence, including ghosting or whatever. The other thing I don't like about online dating is that we talk to people too long, or what tends to happen as we're talking online, especially, and I've heard that this is true with letter writing too, is that we tend to subconsciously read everything in the tone and phrase that we want to hear it. So it's very easy to like the other person because you're subconsciously creating that person as you're reading text and things like that. And it's also, even if the person is sending you audio or whatever, you're able to, again, curate what you want. You're able to completely create a fantasy of who you are. And I think this goes back to accountability, where you're probably also creating a fantasy online. Are you posting the pictures of yourself first thing in the morning when you don't look your best? Or are you only posting your best photos? Did you perfectly curate what you're saying? So basically, it's a job interview for dating. And of course, we're going to put our best foot forward. But I would say this, although everything on my resume is technically true, I actually work for myself, which is amazing. When I have been interviewed in the past, I usually come in, hello. I'm not talking to people like this, where I'm, hello, what the fuck? You should obviously hire me for this job. Da, 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 da. I don't talk to those people like that in job interviews. So I guess my point is that it's really hard when you just meet people through friends at a house party or whatever. You're already subconsciously, when the person's, oh, that's like John, he does blah blah blah, he's a really good guy, da da da, he just got through a breakup, but the girl was a little bit crazy, blah blah blah. So not only are you getting a lot of true information within a very short period of time, there is a subconscious validation to what the person is saying because they are a mutual friend. Even them being a mutual friend, you subconsciously trust your friends who your friends are friends with. If anyone ever offers to set you up on a date, just go, unless they're psycho and whatever, even if they're not the hottest guy or whatever, blah, blah, blah. If somebody you genuinely trust and see something in you and see someone in someone else, I say go. Because even if, let's say, you just end up being friends with the person, you never know what is going to lead to what. So if you're just friends with the person, maybe they'll invite you to another party one day and then you'll meet your husband there. Be open to the possibilities that the universe offers to you, not just the perfect curated thing online, because that is an illusion. And think about how, although you probably do look better online, I'm not going to lie, your curated self probably does look good. Think about how authentic it is, because I sometimes think if my husband also was against online dating, he'd never online dated because he really believed in that authentic feeling of energies. So it's, I would have never even found my husband if I was obsessed with looking for him online. This is not about blaming men. This is not about blaming women. This is not about blaming even dating apps or traumatization, anxiety, whatever. It's not about blame. It's about truth, self-awareness. I hope that this is as freeing to you as what this information was to me when I realized it. I hope genuinely, I truly believe if everyone could be in a marriage authentically as happy as my marriage, that the world would be a bit different place, because you cannot be, because a happy marriage takes, this little girl's all over me, because a happy marriage takes more than just like, you have to understand yourself. You have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to stay calm. You have to be able to listen. And a lot of those traits, I think that if we learn how to do that in a relationship with someone that we could trust, our soft place to fall, then we would be able to bring those traits out and have more kindness and empathy in general for everyone. P.S. I'm not, this is not about being political in any way. I'm actually fucking from Canada. Well, I guess it is political these days. That's weird. Oh, hold on. My doorbell's ringing.